Hello everyone and welcome back to Freshest Now channel. Today's video is all about being a data scientist. How is their life going to be and what are the skills that a data scientist should know and what are their salaries going to be? That is the main important point that everybody has in their minds. So today we are going to discuss about right from the way as to how you are going to start your career as a data scientist till where you get your pay scales. Before we begin, let me just break you this thought. Like how you become a data scientist. Is a degree enough? Will you graduate in that particular computer science field or any other relevant discipline and that will make you a data scientist? Will this be a right career path for you? Does this degree be helpful in a long-term process? Are these the similar doubts that you are having when you are thinking about becoming a data scientist? Well, if so, let me break this down for you. Being a data scientist doesn't only mean having a degree enough. You should also know that you should have a relevant specialization in that particular field as well. Now, apart from having a degree and having a specialization will not give a direct red carpet for you to land as a data scientist. Now, to become one, it is a mere step processes that you need to follow step by step. Now, data scientist also starts from entry-level jobs as well. Yes, you heard me right. Data scientist doesn't randomly jump onto a high-scale sector and receive the highest pay scales right at once. Right after you finish your graduation and having specialized in one of the relevant fields from computer science or anything which is related to data science, you will be then forwarding yourself in starting your career from entry-level jobs or an entry-level atmosphere in your job market. Anywhere in the field, in the job market, you should be able to sustain yourself from learning all the processes and all of the different stages which are accumulated of being a data scientist. Now we will be heading forward as to what this data scientist does and where this guy is being found and how you can become one, earning a very good pay scale in and around India. Let me give you a definition. Data scientists are those who are called as analytical experts not only in technology but also in social sciences. Now they are along with the trends of technology as well as implementing their analytical skills through social sciences. And here is a definition for you all to understand very clearly. So as you can see, data scientists are big data wranglers and they are in gathering and also analyzing large sets of structured and unstructured data. So everything within data scientist's life or a career revolves around the structurizing or unstructurizing of the data which is being produced with them. And the second most prominent thing about a data scientist is that they are going to find trends, align with them, and also they will be most priorly working on managing data at their hold. So this will be their prior task in whichever field that they are working to or whichever component that they are being interlinked with. So these are the main components or the criteria that a data scientist is or will be working. This data scientist is associated with various rules. The first thing is when the particular person of being a data scientist is aligned by having into inculcating various trends in technology and also aligning with them with the managerial data. And the second most prominent thing is they would be finding out those trends and setting out an algorithm as well as a pattern to all of the data or the data sets which they are working in. They also be prominent in creating algorithms. So this is one of the prior role they will be working. The third most prominent role which they will be associated with is that they will be implementing or using machine learning, and all of these are associated as a data scientist. Heading over to the next set of the information that we are going to look into is the skills that they have to inculcate. Now, as they are into knowing about the trends, managing data, knowing about various algorithms, and also it is about how to align the data sets as well as implementing or learning machine learning. So all of these are associated only when the person of being a data scientist, or if you are in a learning stage of being a data scientist, are associated with these skills. So the skills are, you should be able to program Python, then R programming, SQL databases, machine learning, as I've already mentioned, data visualization, and the prior skill that a data scientist should have is obviously communication. So communication is going to be an asset for a data scientist. So knowing all of these programming languages as well as to align them with the data sets is very important, and also the prior task that a data scientist should do. The next information regarding a data scientist is what does this person do? So what does this data scientist do? So as you can see here, I have just mentioned the roles briefly in the beginning, but now here you can see in a point wise so that you can understand it very clearly. Identifying the data analytic problems that offer the greatest opportunities to the organization. So it is not only the prior task of just managing the data, but a data scientist should also know as to how you have to identify the data analytics problems and also resolve them properly so that the organization would get a claim of their hype. The next one is determining the correct data sets and also the variables. So working along with data also means that aligning of the data sets is very important. The prior task also means the same. Using algorithms and also finding their patterns and trends in databases or data sets is the second most prior role that a data scientist does. The next one is collecting large sets of structured and unstructured data from disparate sources. The data scientist should also be much more knowledgeable and aware of the various sources or the resources that he or she is using. Collecting data from other resources or managing or aligning data from other sources is not an easy task, because a single error may lead to the collapse of the organization and it will ruin the whole programming structure. So that is why whichever source that he or she is being aligned to must make sure that the data is being collected in a very appropriate manner. The next set of information that you are going to know is about how you have to become one. So if you are interested in solving analytical problems, and also if you are a critical thinker, and if you are interested in becoming a data scientist, here are some of the things that you need to follow. Apart from earning a degree and earning a specialization, these are the things that you have to remember while starting your career. The first thing is expertise in all of the phases of data science. So that is the first thing that you have to know. So you have to be all interlinked or interconnected with all the data sciences which are related to the field. And that is from the initial discovery, which starts from a cleaning model, the selection, the validation, and the deployment. It is not just knowing about the sources or knowing about the alignment or the trends or about the processes that a data scientist goes through, but it is very necessary that the person should also be very much aware or knowledgeable about all of the sectors which I have just mentioned. The second point is being proficient in common machine learning. So machine learning will be the core element of a data scientist. So machine learning will be in every stage to whichever part or the component that he or she implements in. So machine learning is and will be going to be a part of the data scientist. So he or she should be proficient in machine learning and also the frameworks which are related to machine learning. The third most important thing is familiarity with machine learning techniques. It is not just knowing the processes and the implementation, just like the alignments and the patterns of machine learning, but you should also know the frameworks and other techniques which are interconnected with machine learning. Using machine learning doesn't only mean that whatever you have in your head being implemented on the piece of paper on the computer. So it all means that how it is put into action and what are the techniques which are behind it. So all of these layer of techniques should be said and also put into action. So this will be able to make the person be more proficient enough, and it will be able to build up the confidence. It will surely turn into an asset. The next section that we are going to know is going to be about what are the job roles that you are going to get. Now before we head into the description or the explanation of the job roles which are in data scientist, I am going to give you a very brief outlook of the differences between data analyst and a data scientist. So most of you all might think that these both are the same or aligned same. There is a minor difference between both of them because they almost sound the same, starting with the word data, and they might think that everything is related to something which is related to managing of data or aligning or programming with the data. Now, what does this data analyst do and what does the data scientist do? So you have got a brief outlook on what does the data scientist do. So what is that different from being an analyst? Although both of them have a similar outlook, they both be looking into trends, they both be having the similar working on the algorithms, finding patterns, doing all the machine learning and implementing all these frameworks and techniques. But a data scientist is more of a senior level base. Now you will be starting from the entry level job, but as you move forward, you will be heading over on a senior level basis. So that is how you prolong. So for a data scientist, you will be having more responsibility and you will be overlooking from all points of view. And the next section or the further section, so let's continue into the job roles that we are going to be looking into now, is what are the job roles that you might get or which are associated in a data scientist or for the data scientist. Undertaking data collection, pre-processing and analysis is a framework that the data scientist does. The next one is building models, which are used to address the business perspectives or the business problems, whichever it is underlining or undertaking. The next one is presenting information using visualization techniques. So these are the different roles that the data scientist has to undergo. So this can be proficient in any of the point. If you are proficient in all of the three, then well and good. So if you are proficient in one among three or two among three, then you have to make sure that you are improvising whatever you are doing. So if you are knowing about data collection and its processes, and next one, it is about if you know how to build up models which are used to inculcate all of the business related problems or anything which is against working of the organization. And the third most important thing, as you can see, is knowing as to how you are using the data in a visual basis and implementing your models into action. So all of these make up the prior task in the job roles of a data scientist. Now, heading over to the pay scales. Now, before I get into all of the pay scales which are related to different parts of India, I'm going to tell you the source that we have collected is on average basis, and this average base pay scale is from the source pay scale itself. So if you want to look over, you can just check it out. We just collected the data from the average sources and also representing the major cities in India. So as of the data scientist role or the position of a data scientist, as to where or which cities are having a major impact of being a data scientist. So through that perspective, we have collected this particular data. On an average basis in India, as you can see here, the pay is going to be around 8,24,000 per year. So it is going to be a very good mean of source for being a data scientist. The next section is going to be a leap of how data scientist job is going to be. So as I've mentioned in the earlier point of view, so I have mentioned that you will be starting off with your degree, your specialization, and then the third most important thing which I have said is starting from an entry level job. So entry level jobs also will going to give you all of the exposure, and that is going to be right here. So this is how you are going to take a leap in your career. So over the years, as you can see, the years are mentioned. So over the years, your pay is going to be increased as you can set yourselves in knowing different frameworks, techniques, the implementations, visualization models, algorithms, trends, patterns, everything which is related in developing your career as a data scientist. From here, you are going to see the major cities. So not all of the cities, so where data scientist is being majorly impacted. The first one is Mumbai. It's going to be around 8 lakhs per annum. And the next one is about the place Hyderabad. So Hyderabad also has its major component of becoming or has its career crucial roles of being a data scientist. So as you can see, it is also nearing to 8 lakhs 16,000 per annum. And the next one or the next place is going to be Bangalore, which is also a core place for becoming a data scientist, which heads up for nearing to 9 lakhs. So as I've said, major cities or major places where it calls off for all of the data scientists, it's Bangalore, 9 lakhs around. And then it is Pune, which sums up to 7 lakh 60,000 per annum. And then you have salaries which is in Noida, New Delhi, which is 7 lakh 76,000 per annum again. So as of now, as we have completed all of the major cities which are top notch in hiring up the data scientists, now we are going to look at other top-notch companies which are going to be recruiting or giving a very good pay for all of the data scientists. Now these companies are aligned in India, and also they are considered as one of the top companies which are working under various locations all across India and across the globe as well. So first we're starting off with Wipro, which is considered as one of the high-tech company, which is ranging up to 6 lakhs around. And the next one, which is Accenture, which also gives a very good payment for all of the data scientists, which accounts for 12 lakhs 48,000, one of the most highest paid for the data scientists. And you don't believe me, the next company which I'm going to tell you is going to blow off your mind, which is Amazon. So Amazon also is giving a very good placement for a data scientist as well. So being a data scientist in Amazon is going to give you a hell lot of exposure, because it is going to be around 13 lakhs per annum, not just you having a relevant kind of position or relevant kind of skills, but if you have the right set of skills and also the right set of specializations, you are going to be landing in Amazon with a very good pay around 13 lakhs per annum. And the next one is Flipkart, which is almost equivalent to Amazon itself. So Flipkart also is considered as one of a top high reputed company in India. So Flipkart also is having a very good pay for data scientists, which is around 14 lakhs. So it is almost similar. Even if you land down in Amazon or Flipkart, it's going to be almost similar. So the pay is almost near. So according to the company wise, your pay is going to be different. So don't just stick on to this, okay, I'm going to Flipkart and I'll get 14 lakhs. So it all is going to be depending as to how many skills that you have acquired and how much specialization that you have done and how well that you are going to manage yourself being a data scientist. So I hope these sections or these components of being a data scientist to the pay scales of a data scientist in various sectors are helpful for you. If you have any other opinions for yourself, you can place them in the comment section below. And I hope this video is going to be helpful for you all. Now this is not just one video we are going to stick on to. So there are going to be various other technical based, IT based, everything which is related to career development and how their pay scales is going to be. So it's not just about knowing them, but how we are going to land in them. So all of this we are going to cover up through many videos. So stay tuned and thank you for watching.